The MCU is known for being more secretive than the CIA when it comes to their films, which makes it even more exciting and often hilarious when actors let something slip. Today we are counting down our favorite moments when MCU actors accidentally shared major spoilers. Starting off so strong at number 10 with the Hulk, aka Mark Ruffalo, unknowingly streaming the first 10 minutes of Thor Ragnarok to about 2,500 people on Instagram Live. God, this is so funny. So Mark Ruffalo, being in the movie, was at the LA premiere for Thor Ragnarok, and he wanted to share the joy of a Marvel movie premiere with his fanbase because he is a man of the people. If you tuned in to the Instagram Live, you got to be on stage with the cast. Super cute, super cool. Then Ruffalo put his phone in his pocket, went to his seat, but forgot to turn off the live. So he sat there for roughly 10 minutes while the movie was on, Thor audio clear as day, comment section full of people wondering how long it was going to take for him to notice that he was accidentally leaking Marvel's next big movie. In the end, the live did shut off after those 10 minutes when Ruffalo was told what was happening, and with a shocked face he did turn that off, but the damage was done. The audio/moment didn't just go viral because it was a sneak peek at the movie, but because of how ridiculous and hilarious the situation was, especially because Mark Ruffalo is known in the MCU as being a little loose-lipped when it comes to the secrets. What's extra funny is when the general audience entered the theater, they had their phones turned off and sealed in pouches to prevent piracy, and then when they leave they can get that unsealed by security, but when you're one of the stars of the film, that rule just doesn't apply. At least it didn't, probably, before this. Next up with something a bit more recent. Denzel Washington does not seem to care at all about Marvel's secret-keeping protocols. Washington happened to reveal that not only was he planning to retire from acting, but he was going to do so after starring in Black Panther 3. So not only did he surprise confirm that he was joining the MCU, he confirmed that Black Panther 3 was in development, and also that it would be one of the last things he appeared in before retirement, so like lots to unpack with that one. First, this happened while on the Gladiator 2 press tour last year, and Marvel had not announced anything about Black Panther 3. Sure, like fans, we knew it was going to happen. The first Black Panther is considered one of, if not the best MCU movie ever, and the sequel was also very well received, but Marvel hadn't confirmed anything about it quite yet, and Denzel Washington's unofficial announcement also meant that people started to speculate about the plot and who Denzel Washington could be playing, because if Marvel can get Denzel Washington in the movie, they better give him something really good to work with. The whole thing is perfectly chaotic and rightfully broke the internet. Washington revealed the next day that he did call up Ryan Coogler, writer and director, and apologized that night. Number 8. While the Marvel cast was discussing how likely it is that Tom Holland spoils things, Tom Holland spoiled something. It happened during a 2018 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. 5 cast members from Infinity War sat down 3 days before the film hit theaters. Of course, one of these people was Tom Holland. The cast started talking about how Marvel sends out like fake scripts for security reasons, and Tom goes, "I was reading what I thought was a fake script because it was like Spider-Man's in space, so I didn't finish it, but I found out it was real, and the audience found out new plot details for the biggest movie of the year." It's almost comical how things played out that night. Even Kimmel was like, "I don't even know how to react to what Tom just said," and then Tom literally forgot 10 seconds later that he even said anything. This is also the interview where we got iconic Marvel cast quotes like "snitches end up in ditches" from Paul Bettany, and "it's like Men in Black, every 20 seconds we just wipe him" from RDJ about Tom Holland. Number 7. Dave Bautista accidentally revealing the Guardians were still alive despite them getting blipped in Infinity War. Infinity War had one of the most shocking scenes in MCU history when literally half of our favorite heroes were turned to dust before our eyes, including the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was heartbreaking for a second, until fans realized that Bautista had already confirmed previously that not only did he finish filming for Endgame, but he was already signed on for Guardians 3. He said, "I shot scenes in it, so I must come back somehow," and with that knowledge, everyone suddenly was sure that the Avengers were going to bring everyone back. That was something that we all already suspected was gonna happen, but Marvel has eliminated love characters before, so you really never know with them. Bautista later revealed that he felt quite guilty about the situation. However, no one actually told him not to say that he had filmed the 4th or that he was signed on for Guardians 3, so whose fault is it really? Number 6. Tom Holland accidentally revealed that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were in No Way Home. Now, if you were like me, you were seated in that theater opening night and had the surprise of your life when all 3 live-action Spider-Men were swinging swinging around on screen together. Tom Holland accidentally shared that this was going to happen on the press tour just a week before the movie hit theaters. Tom Holland and Zendaya were being asked a bit about a major stunt that was teased in the trailer of MJ falling and Spider-Man reaching to catch her. Tom was like, "It was really fun. Well, I wasn't there, but it looked really fun." Zendaya stops mid-sentence and then says, "Okay," and then continues on, and that is that Disney PR training in action right there. At the time, not many people caught this Tom Holland slip-up because Zendaya covered it up so well, and I mean, hey, maybe it was a stunt double on set that day. But looking back, even if it was a stunt double, the fact that Holland wasn't there at all is extremely suspicious, because then who would be catching MJ? It wasn't until the interviewer, Ali Plum, interviewed Andrew Garfield months later, the one who did catch MJ in the film, and told Garfield that he knew he was in No Way Home. When Garfield asked how, he showed him the moment in the Holland interview where Tom Holland's soul left his body, and of course, like everyone watching, Garfield couldn't help but laugh. Number 5. Sebastian Stan revealed that Michelle Pfeiffer was in a scene with him in Infinity War / Endgame. The only problem, Pfeiffer had yet to show up in the MCU. MCU fans now know her as Janet Van Dyne, but at the time of Stan's interview, she hadn't appeared as the character yet. And this might not seem like such a big deal considering she was already announced at the time for Ant-Man and the Wasp. However, Infinity War was coming out before Ant-Man and the Wasp, so everyone was more than a little confused as to why Janet Van Dyne was filming for the Avengers finale that was going to release before Ant-Man 2 when she hadn't even been saved from the quantum realm yet. In the end, it turns out that the scene that Sebastian Stan was talking about was from Endgame, not Infinity War, which just means that he spoiled her appearance 1 year before it happened instead of just 10 days. Number 4. Owen Wilson revealed a small detail about Loki Season 1 and then got a mysterious text from an unknown number that simply read, "Strike one." I know we all joke that Marvel holds its actors like at point to keep MCU secrets, but then the actors will say something like this and you start to wonder if we're ever joking at all. The detail that Owen Wilson had shared was that he had a mustache to play Mobius. He later told Esquire that after revealing this fact that he received a text, didn't know who it was from, that simply said, "Strike one." Wilson, again, doesn't know exactly who sent it, but he did joke that he thinks it was Kevin Feige using a burner phone. Number 3, getting back into some more current spoilers. Patti Lapone spoiled that her character passed in Agatha All Along. She spoiled the Witch's Road, the musical elements of the series, all the characters' names, some backstories, like truly no stone was left unturned. Patti Lapone spoiled things on every piece of media possible, TV, podcast, red carpet interviews. It's actually amazing. But the first and arguably the worst of the spoilers came from a 2023 appearance on The View. She was asked if she could say anything about the upcoming show, as it was just announced that she would be joining the MCU. Patti Lapone then listed off the entire principal cast, her role in the series, her character's name and age, the trial her character would undergo in the show, and her witch's power. The interview went viral, but not because of the spoilers. Patti Lapone employed a tactic not yet used by Marvel to draw attention away from spoilers. She said some really controversial statements about religion earlier in the interview, so everyone was too busy focusing on that to really pay any attention to the Agatha All Along stuff. I mean, if it works, it works. Number 2, Mark Ruffalo revealed the ending to Avengers Infinity War about 8 months before the movie hit theaters, and we didn't even know. During the Avengers Infinity War press tour, Don Cheadle and Mark Ruffalo joined Good Morning America for an interview. Everything was going great until the last minute when the interviewer started getting into the details about other Marvel projects. They basically ask how it all ends, and Ruffalo says, like every other Marvel movie, it doesn't end well for the superheroes. And I mean, he's not wrong there, but then he says, wait till you see this next one, everybody dies. Cheadle's stress visibly shoots through the roof, and Ruffalo desperately tries to backpedal, but ends up only making it worse, saying, not everybody, no. At this point, both actors are asking for this part to be like cut out, and a very nervous Mark Ruffalo is asking Don Cheadle if he's in trouble. The short video ends with Mark with his head in his hands. This interview went so wrong, literally so fast, but the wild part was that no one really cared about the spoiler, probably thinking it was a joke. It wasn't until after everyone came back from watching the movie to the interview, realizing that Mark had actually warned us long before. And number 1, and I know y'all were waiting for this one, Tom Holland spoiling the name and poster for Avengers Infinity War, aka the ending of a decade-long epic saga of MCU lore. This happened in 2017 on Instagram Live. I think Marvel is going to ban its actors from Instagram Live in the future because it causes so many problems. It was Tom Holland's last day, like in LA, so he wanted to do something special for his followers and decided to do an unboxing and open a Marvel-related package with everyone on live. First thing he pulls out and shows to the camera is the Infinity War poster right out the gate. Then he pulls out a note from the sender about how excited they are to work with Tom, and while he reads that out, the audience can see a big message on the back of that paper that says, in all caps, "Confidential, do not share." Of course, when Holland does flip that paper over, he panics and switches the live off, but the damage was done. And if you are wondering who the mysterious sender was, according to Holland, it was Mark Ruffalo. And that just adds a whole other layer to this, considering Ruffalo is also considered terrible at keeping Marvel secrets. Now, some people argue that this was staged because the confidential paper text wasn't mirrored like everything else, and I can see where they are coming from, but it is infinitely funnier if it wasn't, so I choose to believe this is real. And you know what's funny? It was reported on like Monday this week that Mark Ruffalo might be returning to the MCU as the Hulk in Spider-Man 4 alongside Tom Holland. They are going to have to keep those two in separate rooms if Marvel has any hope of keeping plot details hidden during that press tour. But what do you think? Which spoiler was your favorite? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye, nerds!